Hey there, it's Kelly Donahue Piro, your favorite industry best friend. Well, I'm here to let you know that you've done something great for your agency by joining and listening in on our podcast or watching our YouTube channel. I just want to remind everybody that we're here to help. So if you need anything, drop a comment, go to our website, hang out with our chat, or just contact us. There's a problem in your agency, I got solutions, right? I like to think of it, you got a problem, I'll solve it. But let's get into the content today so that you can improve your awareness and knowledge of solutions that exist to the agency's core challenges.
They call, they have a problem or an issue or a question, they want it solved. So I think as the soft market increases workload, we're going to have to be extremely efficient in our time.
We definitely want to make sure that we're giving our customer our undivided attention, but also highlighting, hey, you can also help yourself if you're in a situation where you really need that ID card fast. Like you just got pulled over. Hey, there's an app for that.
Hello and welcome everybody to our latest podcast. We are going to be talking about the soft market and how it's probably not all good news. So, official title, Soft Insurance Market Survival Guide, Key Leadership Tactics. I have my agency BFF, Miss Sarah, our virtual trainer, here with me today. And we're going to take 10 to 15 minutes to talk about some of the things you can expect as the market starts to shift. Sarah, what are your thoughts? How did we get to a softening market? Do you have insights on that?
Absolutely. So as the market softens, it's basically like our underwriting team, they kind of relax a little bit. They're taking a sigh of like a big exhalers, like it's finally over, rates are going down. It's easier for you to get lower cost insurance. So you have lower premiums, you have broader market. And it's a lot less pressure on the insureds. But also when you look at it from an independent agency's perspective, it's kind of like, well, now what? Am I remarketing? Am I losing customers because everybody wants to shop? Everything is more cost effective now. So it's a really interesting market. And the plan that we had to survive the hard market is just simply not going to work as we move into the soft market.
And I think that we need to really take a step back and look at. We started with COVID, right? Like COVID, everybody stayed home, things shut down. There was a lot less risk. Some companies were sending refunds to clients because nobody was driving or doing other activities. Then magically nothing was being built or made, which then led to lack of product and supply, and costs started skyrocketing, and natural disasters happened. And all of these adventures, which then led to our hard market, then 3-ish years now. It hurts my mouth to say that, but it's 3 years of a roller coaster, and now we're starting to see some softening happen. So lower premiums, higher workloads. I think that during the hard market, it was higher workloads for higher premiums, and we lost some policy count. So we maybe didn't retain quite the way we did before, but premiums made it okay. Now we're going to have to hustle just as hard, if not harder. Be impressive, be memorable, make people want to remember to contact us, or bigger problems are on the horizon. We have less policies to work with than we did before. So we really need to look at that. So excess capital, fewer catastrophes equals more competition, right? The lower the risk, the higher the reward, the lower the rate. I also think, Sarah, people are going to start doing things that they were worried about before because they're trying to make money again. In the past, we've seen smaller regional carriers get into funky commercial class codes that most people would be like, run for the hills. And they're like, I think we can make $1 here. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it burns the market quickly. So I want us to also remember, as the market's shifting, we need to place things where they belong, not just because it's the cheapest price. The risk has to fit, or we're going to burn markets all over again and go through a whole nother cycle of madness. I think the market's going to be a little more cautious than it was prior to the hard market, but I think there's still going to be some silly decisions made out there by companies. So what do you see as some of the challenges, Sarah, for independent agencies?
So when you have lower renewal premiums, you also get lower commissions. So it's like we're working just as hard for less. And also you have more people who want to shop. A lot of people, their biggest pain point is price, 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 price. So a lot of people want to jump from one carrier who may be a great fit, considering that they have better service. They have extra things that they offer, like, oh, if you're missing one roof shingle and we can't replace it, we'll replace the whole roof, right? So that makes them an excellent carrier. But, this other carrier is more cost effective. So I want to actually go ahead and change that. Your carrier appetites are also different as well. Or it's like policies that we would have taken during the hard market. Now it's kind of like, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm going to look for something else.
We're doing new things now.
Right. Where it's like we no longer are grasping at straws here. At the end of the day, it's like we have an influx of people moving around. So we're going to change who is our prior client. Who do we actually want to work with? So your carriers, they're going to have some differences in opinions as to everybody wanting to move. Well, maybe we just don't have an appetite for that as well.
I think also making sure that we're maintaining our agency standards. Like, who is a good client for us? What are we good at? What should we focus on? How do we kind of set some of those rules and help the clients understand that we can't be everything to everyone, but we're going to be really good at what we do? And I know that in our live virtual training, we do a renewal review program, or like renewal review training. So would you mind talking a little bit about some of the benefits of reviews with clients, or quick ways that we might be able to get that started, or things to look at?
So Kelly always likes to say, we don't want to work harder for our clients and they want to work with their insurance. Where a lot of people, insurance definitely takes a back burner where it's like, it's something I have to have, right? And to be honest, they don't understand exactly what that means. So when we're doing renewal review calls, that's our way of letting our clients know, hey, you have a renewal coming up. Let's talk about it before it surprises you and you just get something in the mail saying, hey, your rates are going up, your rates are going down. So being proactive and really reaching out to your client first, not just when they call you, is so important. We're also able to chat with them. We want to build a strong connection with those great clients and let them know, hey, how's your wife doing? I heard that you went on vacation, or congratulations, you just had a grandchild. So that also gives you the opportunity to cross sell because you know what's going on in their life. You know what policies they would benefit from. So you can renew their coverage limits. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit, in ways that you can make remarketing work for you and your agency as well. So this is an opportunity for you to be proactive and let your customers know, hey, we survived the hard market together. And we are right by your side through all the difficulties and the ups and downs of the roller coaster. And now that the market has softened, yes, you still have options. But at the end of the day, we are going to be your pick for your agency, no matter which carrier you decide to go with.
We were here for you during the terrible twos and the teenage years. Now let's stay together because we're a family. And I think another important thing to remember is like using our time efficiently. And I love, like very obsessed, first call resolution. Most people don't want to wait for a return call. They don't want to wait 3 days for a solution. They call, they have a problem or an issue or a question, they want it solved. So I think as the soft market increases workload, we're going to have to be extremely efficient in our time and the management of our time. And the biggest thing we can do is first call resolution. Complete transactions while the people are on the call. It's going to help us eliminate double work. I know we can fight in the parking lot later. Just tell me so I can wear my big jewelry. Got my big ring. Just kidding. Though. Only have one ring today. I traveled light. But if we think about it, the notepad, right? Like we love to write things down and enter it in later, or I'll process this later, or there's more things waiting, or this is a priority. I think first call resolution is what we're going to have to get to be effective as the market tends to soften. So we're going to need dual monitors. We're going to need our headsets, which I used to hate and now I love. We need to be able to directly put things into the system or the rater or have fillable forms. We need to use a whiteboard. So when it gets full, we just wipe it off and start over. We are going to need to be impressive. And we can't do that with handwritten notes or follow-ups for later. Let me see. We're gonna have to be on top of it, which then leads to our third strategy, which is client control and setting clear expectations. Why is it important to set clear expectations, Sarah?
So I think earlier we had talked about, who is your ideal client, right?
Yes.
Who do we actually want to cater to? So I think one times when I ask my classes, like, what is your ideal client? A lot of things that I see in the chat a lot are, people who are nice. That's always a benefit, right? We don't want to pick up the phone and just have a bunch of angry customers. However, it's so important to remember that you teach people how to treat you. We don't want to give clients every single option. We just want to make sure that we're guiding them towards the most efficient choices. So we do want to really lean into self-service options. And that also helps you build up culture within your client base of self-service and making sure that they have the ability to help themselves sometimes to free yourself up to do some more first call resolution. So that could be asking them, hey, do you want to set this up on auto pay? Would you like to pay this policy in full? So instead of me talking to you every month and being like, hey, I'm here to take your payment, or you having to log into the app and make sure that you pay it yourself, a lot of carriers have that option where it's like you set it up and you forget about it. So definitely having those self-service options, or asking about what coverage do I have, or where is my insurance card? There's a lot of portals and carrier apps or e-policies that they can sign up for that we want to make sure that they're aware of, because our customers don't know it. We don't tell them, right? So we
100%.
definitely want to make sure that we're giving our customer our undivided attention, but also highlighting, hey, you can also help yourself if you're in a situation where you really need that ID card fast. Like you just got pulled over. Hey, there's an app for that, right?
Mhm.
Definitely letting your team know that we want multi-line quotes only, so that our prime client, the person that we really want to market to, is not that monoline auto, right? We want all the policies. How about your life policy? Do you have any policies with other agents? Is another really great question to ask, because you can house them all under your agency. So it doesn't hurt to ask.
One of the other things I love is thinking of the clients in tiers, right? Everybody deserves service. So I get myself in trouble every time I try to explain my thoughts on this. But if I have a large account somewhere, I kind of expect better service, right? Like when I go to the bank, my little credit union that I've been at since I was 19 years old, I've now moved my way up in their client tiers because I have multiple products with them. I have loans, I have credit card, I have savings, I have investments, all these things. When I walk in the doors, they're like, hi, Steven. And I'm like, hi, like, this is awkward and weird. Did you know me? But it's the same three people that have been there forever. I get helped immediately. They know who I am. It makes me feel good, right? Somebody that might have one small account that a couple $100 every few months goes into and they spend it, they're not going to get the same level of service because they don't remember that customer. It's not the face recognition. It's not the brand loyalty. It's not those things. And I think it's okay for us to look at that sometimes and prioritize the best fit for the agency and let other people know that we're going to work on it, but it might take a little while longer. We also need to remember that not every client's going to qualify for a remarket or for new business quote. If they don't want to play by our rules, if they don't want to do what we want, we can say no. Does that seem shocking to think of? We can say no to a client, but they want a quote. I want to give it to them, Sarah. So I think part of what we really need to also look at then is the new business and sales process. We have to prepare to capitalize on the increased shopping. And more shopping equals more opportunities, equals more headache, equals more nightmares, dot, dot, dot. And whenever I do our growth training, I love, I feel like we need t-shirts that say, I quote to close. Like my goal is to quote to close, not to shop and see if your rate's still competitive, not because you really just want a second opinion to see if your agent's honest, not because you're unhappy with your minimum premium policy and you want something lower. I have to somewhat know my markets, right? And I have to know what's going to qualify and what's going to make sense. And so I have to be able to ask questions to pre-qualify somebody fairly quickly. We need to move past leads that we might have fought for in the past. What might have been good to us previously might not be anymore. And we need to distinguish between quoting and a sales process. There's a huge distinction. Sales process, somebody calls, they're a good fit. Are we quoting them on the phone whenever possible, or at least getting all the information, setting clear expectations, and asking great questions? Are people in our sales or marketing teams really having their hour of follow-up, setting time aside to make the magic happen? Are we giving the client two options? So we're taking the shopping off their plate. It doesn't mean two separate carriers. It means maybe deductibles or coverage options with the same carrier. Are we following our sales process and having those set follow-ups in a set way? And it's not like, well, I got busy or there's so much coming in. We're going to get overwhelmed with the number of quotes coming in. We can't chase all of them. We need to focus on ones that are qualified and will be profitable for the agency. I think that's where we're going to make a big difference and grow the agency quickly. Do you have other thoughts on that or different
I do
opinions?
believe that, the 2 quotes per option is huge because, we want to give them the opportunity to pick what works best for them. It's very often we get shut down with oh, well, that's not what I had in mind, or that's the price is not what I had in mind. But if you give them 2 options, maybe quote them more coverage on this one, or even throw in an umbrella or a life policy and be like, hey, here's a policy that you could also benefit from. And I just slid that in there for you just to let you know, hey, this policy has value and I identified a need where it could benefit you to move forward with this option. So just making sure that we're not chasing every lead. We don't want to be desperate in like our sales process. We want to pick our best options because technically once we bind them, we're actually married to that client, and then your service team has to deal with them, and then they're not happy about that either. So definitely keeping in mind that when you do bind bad leads, you are stuck with them until they either lapse or decide to go and be a bad lead somewhere else. So making sure that you're being very intentional with your sales process is very important. But I also think it's really important, Stephen, that we talk about making sure that we are reinforcing a culture of accountability as well as teamwork, right?
What? It's not just all about me.
So a lot of people they think about like teamwork where it's like you see it in every job description, everybody works as a team, but what does that actually look like, So definitely making sure that your team has the ability to reach out and be like, hey, I'm actually drowning in activities. I actually can't get ahead. I'm 3 weeks behind. And it's one of those things where you don't want to be snooping in your team members' activity list and being like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So making sure that you have a system set up. And the one that we like to use here at APP is raise your hand. I'm behind. I'm struggling.
Help me.
Does anybody have the capacity to help me out and make sure that we as a team are moving forward together? And it's not everybody else is closing out all their activities by the end of the day. But, Sarah's just got a lot on her plate. So we're just going to let Sarah deal with that. Right. So we do want to make sure that we have the ability to reassign work before you start seeing sloppiness, where it's like, yes, I'm getting things done, but they're just low quality. We're doing quantity over quality.
So what I want us to think about too is in a hard market, we had to get our team to care for and fight for saving everything possible. As we get to a soft market, they're going to have to fight for their time and work efficiently to write what's best for the agency as we grow forward. And I think that that's where that love and relationship are going to come in, and key accounts are great, but they're going to get overwhelmed. It's another shift. It's another mindset. 3 years, we're just starting to get into the rhythm of it's never going to get better. Now we're going to be like, oh my God, it's so good. I don't even know what to do anymore. It's going to be a fairly swift change. So we have to kind of change the way we think it feels as well. So raising our hand, reassigning work, making sure things aren't falling through the cracks is a great way to do that. I think to end the call, we need to focus on the soft market. It's not a celebration. It's going to make some of the fiercest agents out there. Like hard market, if you made it through the hard market, congratulations. You got your badge of honor. You are a veteran. Yay, you survived, right? You got into insurance during the hard market, even better. You don't know any different. But as we get into the soft market, we're going to have to be so effective and efficient. We're going to have to really utilize our skills, and we're going to have to make sure that we're strengthening retention and profitability. We will fail if we aren't focused on retention and making money the right way. So we have our soft market series coming up. We're going to do some deeper training with that. The best agencies grow in every market because they have a plan, but we want to help you do that. So please, please, please reach out to us, agencyperformancepartners.com. We have Sarah, our virtual training development officer. I love all of her words in her LVT. Live virtual training is what I normally remember it as. We have myself who comes on site or does virtual. We have others on our team for emerging agencies, 8 and under. We have growing agencies. We have virtual. We have online. Lots of different options to help you. But a soft market series is going to help you get where you need to be and some basic information on how to really come up with some of those ways to fight the market fairly.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to tell your team or prepare them for the soft market, Like Stephen mentioned, if you just started in the hard market, this is all you know, right?
Well,
a lot of people are like, it's going to be an opportunity for us to just exhale and take it easy. Or it's going to be easy street. But now we really need to focus on giving that wow factor and providing excellent service, but also making sure that we're getting something out of remarketing our team. So if you have some questions, we're here to help. And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It is so fun giving you guys tips and tricks every single, week out there. Remember, you can find us on social media for updates. You can like or comment on this podcast or video, and we're here for you. And check out our website. There's a ton of tools. We have over 1,000 blogs on our website. We have over 1,000 videos on YouTube. You can search and find answers to your top questions. But also, if you need a little bit more help, you want a best friend that's there cheerleading for you, giving you the guidance that you need, and being there on some of those tough days, let us know. We'd love to meet your agency and learn if we're a good fit. All right, signing off. Go sell insurance.